Green light. Yellow light. Green light. Good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you are in the world. I'm Katie the Curious Katydid, coming to you live from my living room on this hot, too darn hot, it's too darn hot Friday night here in the Hudson Valley of New York, where I am. Welcome on in, everybody. So happy to finally get started. I had kind of it's Friday, it's officially the weekend, if it hasn't already been the weekend for all of you. Hi, Rick. Hi, Jason. How are you? Welcome, everybody. It is the end of the day. It is completely... Zorro Electric, how you doing? Love Pups, part of this complete evening breakfast thanks to Zorro Electric. Thanks for kicking us off, Zorro. How's everybody doing? Humid today, Hollywoodland? Indeed. I absolutely will, Jason. I know we have to connect. Rick joining the team. Lady M. Love goblins. Love goblins are in the air on this Friday night where I am. Angela, hello. Hello. Look, Lady M and Rick and Jason and Angela and Hollywoodland and Zorro Electric and so many wonderful people coming in the room. Come on in, everybody. I feel like you know what we got to do. We got to, like... Bonjour, Kevin. Thanks for the rose there. How are you, Cowboy Kevin? Odd Thomas, master of the speak and spell. The musicians are entering the room. Jeff Hickman, lead singer of Venus, is in the room. The band is getting together. Ooh, some ice cream. Guys, for anybody who needs to cool off. Jeff, thank you for the ice cream. Oh my goodness. Okay, should we do this? Does anybody need... Have you guys been working today? Who had to work today? I had to work part of the day. I have like half a hand up. I'll put like half a hand up. I had half work today. Celtic Wolf! The esteemed Celtic Wolf, member of the wolf pack of this community, esteemed moderator, and most recently, the spontaneous improvisational producer of our recent reenactment of King Kong. I mean, Celtic Wolf, I think, gets the award for most cinematically inspired lately in this community, wouldn't you say? Odd Thomas, you work overnights, but you did work today, and you work again in a few hours. How you doing? Does your speak and spell have a few choice words? I wouldn't blame it if it did. Monica, you did some DoorDash and Lyft delivery? Listen, to all of you who may have worked July 4th today and who will be working over the weekend, whatever you do, can I just say thank you? Like, love goblins! Monica's putting love goblins everywhere! Seriously, like, it can be hard to relax on the weekend if you don't have, like, your electric, right? Like, if you don't have your air conditioning, if you don't have, you know, if you want to go out and get some food, if you want to have food delivered. Like, thank you to everybody who does the work at the times when a lot of other people are off. Paul is working the weekend. Thank you to Paul. Like, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Odd Thomas. Thank you to everybody who's doing the work on the weekends. Celtic Wolf says the funny thing is you never saw King Kong. I feel like King Kong is one of those movies that just, it's like transcendent at this point. Do you guys ever, anybody relate to what Celtic Wolf was saying? I'll put this up again. Monica, I mean it. I seriously mean it. It's like when like on Sundays, like, think of, like, I'm so grateful to the people who work in the bakeries we go to, who work in the restaurants, who work at the Empire State Building. Like Sunday, so many people try to have Sunday off for a lot of reasons. But there are so many beautiful memories we get to make thanks to the people who choose to work on a Sunday. So like thank you. Monica, it was very busy for you July 4th. Hey, CD Camp. So as we're getting started here too, so I'm repinning Celtic Wolf's comment. Is there a movie, can anyone relate to this? Do you have like a movie in your life that you never saw, but you feel like you've seen it? Like, because King Kong, I feel like, bonjour, Margaret, thanks for the roses. How are you, sweetie? What's going on? There are some movies I've like Rocky, for example. I have never sat. I've seen like bits of it, but that's the thing, right? It's like I've never seen Rocky, but I feel like I've seen Rocky. Like, it's so in the pop culture consciousness. Like, I can name Apollo. You're like, yo, Adrian, right? Like, it's like I know these references, but I never saw the movie. But I understand the references enough. Like, I will admit I never, like, sat and watched the first Rocky movie. I think I've seen the second one a little bit more than the first from, like, TV. Margaret, I am delighted to be here with you. For you, it's Jaws, Monica. For some reason, they, like... I want to, like, approve your comment. We're doing this comment... Right, I saw Jaws when I was, like, really little. But I feel like... Like, that's a great example. It's, like, we can all, like, relate to Jaws somehow, whether we... Like, there's some movies... Right, Kelsey? Like, King Kong is, like, so pop culture. Star Wars, right? Like, if you've never seen Star Wars, it's, like, hard still not to, like, have the Force within you, though. Tommy Collins making love goblins appear. Clearly, this will be a very magical night in my living room. There are roses appearing. There's ice cream appearing. Love goblins. It's crazy. Odd Thomas, you work overnights all through the weekend and holidays. Odd Thomas. Do you care to share what you do? You don't have to. We want all privacy respected. Bonjour, Tommy Collins. Thanks for the roses. Monica. If anybody else wants to share what they do for a living too, if you haven't already with us. Jeff, you worked 100 degrees index the last 2 days. There's Tommy Collins. He sent such a beautiful rosa. Thanks, Tommy, oh so much from my heart. Celtic Wolf, thank you for those roses also too. Hi, Renata, how are you? And Lady M, I also thank you, dear. There's Jeff Hickman sending one more rose there. Oh my gosh. Like, thank you again to everybody who has been working the last few days. Japan Punk, you're thankful for the people who work at Chick-fil-A on Sundays. Are you a Chick-fil-A fan, Japan Punk? The person, the myth, the mystery, the punkery. I did not know this. You're a Chick-fil-A fan? Is anybody else here a Chick-fil-A fan? That Chick-fil-A... So a second ago, if you're just coming in, we spun off of King Kong because we were at the Empire State Building last weekend. What is like a movie that you've never seen, but you feel like you've seen it because the pop culture is just so, like, thickly around us? We were saying King Kong, Jaws, Star Wars. I said Rocky. But, like, Chick-fil-A is a place that I have never eaten before. I've never eaten a Chick-fil-A that I can recall. Right? To my memory, I am telling the truth on that. Maybe when I was, like, a kid and I forgot. But, like, to my memory, I've never eaten a Chick-fil-A. And to my memory, I've never eaten at a Waffle House. But I feel like they're all around me. Like there's enough pop parlance about them that I can sort of talk about them. I feel like I know them without knowing them. I've met the meat. In Chick-fil-A's case, I feel like I've met the meat, even though I haven't met the meat. You work at a water treatment plant? Odd Thomas. Did you know you have that in common with Doghouse? Did you guys know that? The Doghouse works in, our friend and moderator. And I'm saying that because just today, literally today, this is like absolutely true. And maybe boring to you guys, but I think this is really interesting. I literally made a vow to Doghouse earlier today. I briefly spoke with him. And I was like, dude, I'm going to make it a point to thank, like, the sewage and water treatment people. Because, like, Doghouse was kind of, like, venting about a couple things. And I was like, dude, it's so true. For those of us who have, like, public water, it's like, we don't necessarily, and sewers and stuff, it's like, I don't really think about, like, I grew up with public water and sewer. I didn't necessarily think about, like, I knew there were treatment plants, but I don't necessarily think about, like, when I flush or use the sink or whatever, I don't necessarily think about what needs to go into, like, it's the same amount of water on Earth, right? Like, like, water is not created or destroyed, so to speak. It's like, you know, we only got so much water to work with on planet Earth. Like, thank you to the water treatment people who help keep our water usable and drinkable, and all of what they go through. Like, Doghouse was telling me about some of the equipment and, like, some of the materials, and, like, that's not easy. Jimmy J, how are you? No, I'm probably not gonna go tomorrow, Jimmy J. It wasn't, Jason tried to tell me about it, like, bless his heart, like, Jason wanted me to know about it, but, apart from Jason, I was not necessarily informed about it, and that's okay. But also tomorrow I think is gonna be awfully hot, and I wilt in the heat. If it was gonna be something outdoors, it's probably better if I don't go, because I would not last very long. I guess I'm thinking of it, like, I don't know. Yours may have been filtered. Angela, yours, Arnold loves Chick-fil-A. They aren't open on Sundays, Japan Punk? Oh. Stanley, sometimes we sing show tunes in here. Is that okay? You're off this weekend, yay, Celtic Wolf. See, Japan Punk, I did not know that Chick-fil-A was not open on Sundays. Stones fan, where you been, buddy? Stones fan, what's going on? Julie, truly in Kentucky. Julie, did you make it to the camp with your family? What's going on, Miss Julie? Dropping a love goblin. Julie dropping a little love mischief in the room with a little love goblin. So happy to see all you guys. Angela, Wednesday you took a little family road trip to Nanuet to White Castle. Girl. Bonjour, Jeff Hickman. Thanks for 4 more roses. Thanks all for helping us to goals. Every morning's not the same. Thanks to your support we came. Cross adventures near and far, together true. I'm making this up. Obviously. Just so happy to see all of you. How far was that for you guys? Hey, Katie and Maya. Oh, it's indoors, Jimmy J? That's cool. Doghouse, CD Camp, you're thinking correctly. Doghouse was a milkman. Doghouse has had many dog identities. He has been a milkman. He has been a delivery person. He has been, and then lately, he has been among hazmats working in water treatment. Interesting stories. Each area has unique challenges with water treatment, Odd Thomas. I think this is a very leaky bow. Yes, Jeff Hickman. For those of you, some of you will recall Leaky the brakeless forklift. No, Katie. No, you didn't. We actually didn't get to any of that yet. I don't want to build it up too much either. It was just a very unique experience that I had yesterday that totally derailed me from going live last night. It took you an hour 30 to get from where you live, Angela, to Nanuet, New York. Yeah, do you guys know White Castle? Or do we have White Castle fans in here? Just curious. That was a place that I had rarely to never been. Like, it was like one, like in my childhood, it's like another place that like I had heard the pop culture, like the commercials, like growing up. We're talking about like things we've never actually seen or done, but like it's just all around us all the time. And you feel like you have. Like the White Castle, I felt like I had never truly been to. And then I actually briefly lived in this town called Nanuet, New York in Rockland County. It was the first town when I was a Jersey did, when I was a baby did, right? I grew up in New Jersey and then developed my love of the Hudson Valley area of New York, as I've told you guys, my returning friends would know. And then when I first moved to the Hudson Valley, Nanuet was my first stop. Bonjour, Jeff Hickman. Thanks so much for the rose, dear. And so I finally, all of a sudden, Angela, I lived right near that White Castle. I used to live like right near that White Castle. That's really funny that you guys went there. Tommy, you love White Castle. You could totally live on it. There's no pressure to love it or hate it. Just bringing it up. Julie, your honey and your son are away till Tuesday. Julie, have you slid around in your boxer shorts like Tom Cruise yet? Are you going to do that? This is Julie, guys. Julie Truly. So, like, you're home on your own. Julie Truly Bueller's day off there. Let's mix all the movie metaphors right now. How many metaphors can we mix with Julie being home alone? Ah! Julie Truly Bueller, is home alone. And then she's coming into her house like this. Dee, 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 dee. Just take those Julie records off the shelf. Is that what you're doing? You went to the movie, Stones fan. What did you see? Hi, Allison. Welcome. I'm so glad you guys had a good time at White Castle. Tell me, what are you doing? They're called gut things that pop, I'll say. Tommy? You realized you were traveling the day before 4th of July, Angela? That's funny. Catrice loves White Castle. Jimmy J says White Castle, French chef's kiss. Lady M loves White Castle. That's good to know. Maybe we should take a trip to like a White Castle one day. Jimmy J is saying it's in Midtown Manhattan at M Social at 5 p.m. If things chat, you can't go, Jimmy J. I'll note it. I just don't mean to go. I mean, I appreciate Jason was trying to get me the information. I just wasn't clear. Like, I'll say it this way. Anybody who was an official organizer didn't reach out to me, so I don't want to just, like, show up awkwardly if, like, they're just trying to have certain people there. But that's good to know. So, yeah, what do you guys like to get at White Castle? If ever so many people in here like White Castle, I love just, like, a couple little cheeseburgers. I haven't thought about White Castle in a long time. It's been a long time now since I've had White Castle. That would totally be a cheat day thing. It's been a long time. The little burgers. Stones fan, you went to the new Costner Western. 3 hours, part 1 of 4. Stones fan, you are hardcore there. Jeff Hickman joining the team. Come on in, join the team. Julie says, eating homemade chicken salad and watching The Patriot. Julie, you wild woman. The Patriot, I always actually enjoyed The Patriot. I saw The Patriot in theaters. I always thought that was like a pretty cool movie. I love that you're eating homemade. Did you make your chicken salad or did like your men folk make your chicken salad for you? Matthew, how you doing? You live White Castle in the South. It's called Crystal. Interesting. Allison, you got fish and chips today since it's Friday. All you can eat. Not from White Castle, though. That's cool. We're just, like, talking about... Like, if you're not a White Castle person, feel free to tell us, like, Allison, like, what's, like, a place that you do love? We're just having fun. Margaret says, my dad used to buy the frozen ones from the grocery store. That's the only way you've tried it. I would say that's pretty close, Margaret, in my opinion. I don't know if I'm speaking White Castle sacrilege, but... I would say you're pretty close, Margaret, with the frozen ones. I used to get them for a previous partner in the times before they were Jeffily. When you meet up in the Midwest, Tommy, you'll bring the White Castle. You know a lot of stuff on Banter, Jason. That's cool. Oh, Crystal Burgers. So a couple. Yeah, I've never heard of Crystal Burgers. Sounds like a couple of you were talking about that. It's open to all. Thank you, Jimmy J, for telling me. I will definitely, I'll try to look it up, and I'm still not sure I'll make it in tomorrow. But especially since it starts late, because I got to be up early for Sunday to play with some of my favorite people. Boop. Jimmy J, boop, do you take that? Boop. Right, if it doesn't start till 5, that probably means it would go late. So I'm like, I got some Sunday morning VIPs to play with. Maybe another time. Boop, 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 boop. Julie, truly. It's a sneaky gnome. That is so sneaky. Look at this, like, sneaky gnome. He's so little. You're a little sneaky gnome. Julie, that's adorable. A sneaky gnome. You understand you're busy with family? Got it, Jimmy. Cozy Burger, says James the Wonderful. Tell me about Cozy Burger. I never heard of that. Miss Margaret! Ah! High five. High five to your kitty paws, Miss Margaret. Tulsa King. Jason's calling out Tulsa King. Mowing God, how are you? Bonjour, Jeff Hickman. Thanks for the rose, my friend. The Patriot is on your TV, too? That's crazy, Japan Punk. Maybe, what if, Japan Punk, what if you could dive in a portal into the Patriot and then come out in Julie's house? What if, that would be cool, right? If we like all watch the Patriot at the same time and then we could like dive into it all together. Mowing God, how you doing? Happy 4th. So we didn't do this yet. It's time to let down work hair. Do you guys need to let down your work hair? Literally or figuratively? You have the Patriot on DVD. That's cool, Matthew. Here we go. Let's get the work out of our hair. Do you need help getting the work out of it? Who needs help letting their hair down? Let's do this. Help yourself. I'll help you. Let's get any last work days away. Ah! And I do have my flower crown. Should we flower crown it up? Let's get whimsical, whimsical. I wanna get whimsical. Let's get fun and whimsical. Tommy, I'm letting your hair down. Ah! Why, thank you, Miss Margaret. Well, I'm winding up for the pitch. And it's a home run. Thanks to Miss Margaret. Boop. I booped you. Take that, Margaret. That was adorable. Davy Dog, what's up, Davy? Matthew, I'm so glad you had the day off. Hey, there is Margaret. She sent 1 rose, thank you. And there's Jeff Hickman, double 2. And Matthew sent a rose. I'm so grateful, I suppose, to each of you for helping hit our goals. Oh my goodness. Ooh, delicious. Mowing God says, put the fast pace on a shelf and open up the slow touch of life. Mowing God, that sounds good. This is what's up, Davey. Melting into my evening with beautiful people like you. Saying hi, getting ourselves ready. I mean, it's Friday, so this is on, guys. Time to get ready for our weekend. We're going to have an important weekend coming up on Sunday. This is week 1 of July. Oh, Tommy, thank you for the ice cream. Everybody grab some ice cream to cool off. This is important in the sense that it's the beginning of the month, so it's time to nominate and... Little Poots! Matthew, you're watching a Queen concert on DVD? That's awesome. Any particular one? Anybody here a Queen fan? Gotta love it, right? So, beware of the braid. And Little Poots has activated Disney Princess mode. Thank you, Little Poots, for helping to fund our travels. Thank you for Sunday, for all that we'll do. Little Poots. Bonjour, Jeff Hickman. Thanks for 3 more roses. Odd Thomas. Oh, nice. Let's break in the weekend. Odd Thomas. Can I send that back to you, especially since you're working in a couple hours? It's like, what is it, like massage circles at like a slumber party? Here you go, Odd Thomas. Thank you. Little shoulder rub there back if you'd like one. If you don't want it, no problem. Give it to somebody else. Live at Wembley, 1986. All we need is love, love from Tommy Collins. Thank you, Tommy. So, oh yes, so this Sunday, guys, is week 1 of the month. So we're gonna have to, nominate and vote on a new community experience, right? So we just had it for the end of June. We went to the Empire State Building together. So time to pick for and fundraise for a new July community experience. Like, this is a little something special, right? So every Sunday will be our normal walks, somewhere in the Hudson Valley, basically, for the month. And then the last week of July, right, we'll do something a little special. So if we've done the Empire State Building, I'm thinking for July, and we can come up with ideas. So if you're interested in nominating an idea for the special travel trip we make at the end of July, feel free to think about it. White Castle should be next, Japan Punk. Davey says Albany, New York would be cool. Let me screen cap this. We could go to White Castle. We could go to Albany. Ooh, Maid of the Mist. We could. I think Margaret's saying maybe try Long Island again. We did talk about maybe waiting for Long Island until it gets a little cooler, because with the scavenger hunt, there's going to be a lot of like hustle and bustle. So we haven't completely canceled Long Island. But Margaret, what do you think if we say like, I think that's going to be fixed. Like come September, we're just going to like look forward to Long Island. Tommy's like, yes, Tommy's down for a White Castle. So we could put these in, like, yeah, I'm thinking just because with the heat, and I'm just somebody who doesn't, like, the heat is a little, like the heat, So we're thinking, right, September for Long Island, just so hopefully it'll be a little cooler. But for now, we'll have to see about that. But we'll figure that out. But yes, so we need something for the end of July. So I'm thinking, so someplace like White Castle could be cool. Maid of the Mist could be cool because I imagine it would be cool like on the boat. I'm thinking something with air conditioning, kind of like the Empire State Building. Just something indoors. So maybe like a museum. Oh, KT, good point. Maybe can't live stream from Maid of the Mist. I don't know what kind of signal we'll have on it. That's a good point, KT. Atlantic City, says Matthew. That's an interesting idea. Although, you know what? Atlantic City may be rough, Matthew, because we're not supposed to promote games of chance. I'll put it that way. Patterson, New Jersey, Japan Punk. Hey, there's some good, museums and cultural things there. Jersey Shore, maybe? But Niagara Falls area. Niagara is a long drive. We could go Poke Patrick. We could try to see, just go outside, and I talked about trying to go to, I think was Ithaca, New York. We could Poke Patrick and see if he's game for an end of July just go outside meetup. Albany is the capital of New York. Yes, Davey, right? I don't think we've never officially done a live stream from Albany. So that could be interesting too. Maybe we could pick like a museum in Albany and go up there. Rick says Valley Forge. That could be cool, Rick. Sorry guys, I pushed buttons and everything went crazy. Sorry. We could go visit Matthew's cousins in Ithaca. Matthew's cousins! Wildwood is beautiful, says Little Poots. Little Poots, I could sing your username for all time. I feel like, Little Poots, Little Poots. Everywhere there's Little Poots. She is little, she is Poots. Little Poots, Little Poots. Hey there. Here comes Little Poots. Like, I really like your name, Little Poots. It's like so... What's a word that you guys love to say? Like, it's crunchy. Like, I'm just enjoying saying Little Poots. What, the song? That's sort of Spider-Man. It's sort of the Spider-Man theme. Oh, Legoland! We did do our brief Legolandness. We could have a return to Legolands. These are all interesting ideas. I'm taking screen caps. Is that Jersey Mike in the house? Jersey Mike, we're having a casual conversation about possibilities for our July community experience. Like the thing we're going to especially fundraise for to do at the end of July. I'm thinking because it's like peak of the summer to maybe do something that has air conditioning. Like Legoland may also be a good one to save for like October or November. Although October is Halloween, maybe we want to do something very special for community fundraiser for Halloween. So maybe October we're going to say question mark. But maybe like November is good for Legoland. Jeff Hickman. Bonjour, Jeff Hickman. Thanks for 5 more roses. Hello, dollar signs. Legoland. Jason is like voting for Legoland. Possibly. I feel like we did pretty good with the signal at Legoland. There's Tommy Collins, he sent a dozen more roses. And there's another dozen too. Tommy Collins, you are so special here, it's true. Thank you, Tommy, for your rosy time. Do we have a new goal? Do you mean, what do you mean, Celtic? Do you mean like we're talking about where to go for the end of July, if that's what you mean, like a new goal to fundraise for? We're talking about that pot, and then Sunday we'll vote. So come back Sunday, I'll take some of these ideas and figure them out. Like I'll look at, like KT brought up great suggestions. I got to make sure we have like Wi-Fi signal wherever we go. The gift goal, according to what I'm seeing here, we're approaching halfway on our current live goal, if I'm not mistaken. September 13th, we should go to Blairstown, Mike. Why is that, Jersey Mike? Is it Friday the 13th special day? CD Camp, the Ren Fair in Tuxedo does start in August. However, my understanding is that they don't necessarily want live streamers in there. I would have to definitely check. Bonjour, Jeff Hickman. Thanks for 11 more roses. You're oh so sweet to help us out. It is a Friday. Oh, you can't see it, Celtic. This is odd. This is odd. Newport, Rhode Island to see the Gilded Age Mansions. Matthew, these are great suggestions. I've never been to Rhode Island at all. Rick, right? Something probably indoors like the Museum of Natural History. Right. These are all wonderful ideas. They have a big celebration. Jason, you're going to go there? That's awesome. So yeah, right? I don't know, guys, right? If there are certain museums that you like maybe Rick, if there, like we could try for like Valley Forge if there's like some indoor stuff there. These are ideas. So, yeah. Yeah. And I just wanted to check for KT and others who were interested. I had said that something happened to me yesterday that, like, I totally planned to live stream last night, and then this very interesting and unusual thing happened, and I got derailed kind of processing that. And I just wanted to check is it for those who were interested, should I share that? Because I don't mean to delay it. Japan Punk, you'll be in Newport in a week for the International Tennis Hall of Fame tournament. Are you viewing or are you playing? Japan Punk, you get around. There's Lady M, she's sending 2 more roses. Lady M, thank you oh so much. Little Pooch Monster. We're 50% right there. Thanks to all of you out there. I rhymed there with there, but I say, really, who cares? Yes, spill the tea. The drive to Newport is 4 hours. It's so true, Tommy. I love this. So, KT's like, yes, please share. Okay, so here's some tea. Thank you, Julie. Thank you so, Julie. Thanks for 12 more roses. And then there's 12 more yet again. Julie, you're so truly, I say indubitably, doobly. Clumsy rhymes. So, okay. So last night, here's the true story of last night. And I don't know, like, feel free to, take what resonates and leave the rest of the following. Like I say this, it's going to get a little spiritual. So, like, take with or whatever, like, take with or however this story what you will. Because I never mean to endorse a certain spiritual persuasion, right? But here is what happened to me last night. A couple of you were there. I was in somebody else's live stream, and I talked about whether I should talk about who it was and stuff. They would like to lay low a little bit with this. So I'm not going to mention who it was, but like, so I was in somebody else's live stream, somebody who I've gotten to know a little bit. Hey, Ryan. Hello. Welcome, everybody. I'm talking a little bit about why I didn't go live last night. So I was in somebody else's live that I know, and there's somebody who they don't do it very frequently. I was just learning this about them. Like, I was in the live and we were talking about other things, and then all of a sudden they were like, Katie, would you mind if I do a reading for you? Like, out of nowhere. And I was like, oh, like, sure. Like, what's going on? And they explained that there's somebody that, they're like clairvoyant basically, and that they used to do readings a lot on TikTok, but they've pulled back from it. But they try to just kind of follow it when they get a signal. And she was like, I'm getting heavily tapped on the shoulder that, like, somebody wants to talk to you, like, from beyond. I was like, oh, let's do this. So they did the thing. They started to channel, and I saw them, like, on their live starting to do their, like, channeling process. And they didn't ask me for any money, for the record. This is somebody I kind of know. And so they started to channel. And then they were like, oh, I'm actually getting told that I'm not supposed to talk about this over the live stream. They're like, you can do what you want, but I'm not supposed to talk about this over the live stream. And I was like, okay. And so I let her call me privately. And here's, like, the background, like a little piece of background. You guys have known a little bit, like, in the background, that there's been a lot of reformation on my end regarding, like, my jobs and finances and stuff like that. And there's been kind of a rough road with some of that. And basically, like, so it turned out, like, she was like, here's the message. And basically, like, out of nowhere, it seems that, like, my mother passed away in 2021. And it seems that my mother, like, reached out to this clairvoyant person and had a very specific message for me. And, like, very specific. Like, a very specific, very accurately timed message regarding a job decision that I have to make. Like, this person had no idea, like, as a psychic person, like this person had no idea. Like, I know she had no idea what was going on behind the scenes. But just was, like, basically delivering a message, apparently from my mother, that was saying a bunch of things, including, like, guidance on what choice I should make right now. And also kind of blowing me away because there were some tremendous difficulties in my relationship with my mother. I've mentioned this to some of you. My mother was a very, very, very bad hoarder. I grew up, it really wasn't too far from what you see on that show, Hoarders. I grew up in a very hoarded house, and like, literally, like, there were I don't want to trigger anybody, so I won't get it, but it was just, I grew up in a house with a lot of hoarding, and my brother and I had tremendous difficulty having a relationship with my mother. And the message spoke to that. Like, this person had no idea, but she was like, your mother wants to tell you that she wants to recognize that she, couldn't handle her mental health issues, and that she recognizes that you were blocked from, like, it was just, she just spoke very specifically to what was going on, and was like, your mother wants you to know that she sees this and wants to, like, apologize. Like, your mother wants to apologize for the difficulties she couldn't overcome that created, like, problems in your relationship. It was like, I got this, it was like, she just started talking, and I was like, like, oh my gosh, like, out of nowhere. So obviously it was very emotionally powerful. And I just decided to, like, sit with it and give her space to deliver me the message, and listen to it. And then it just was like, I just was like, holy smokes. Like, I've just never really had anything like that happen before. So when I was saying it felt like really good news, it just felt like this random, and this person on TikTok, like, she's lovely as far as I can tell. So it just felt like there was a whole lot of like love and healing and loveliness, like just out of nowhere last night. Like, I wasn't planning on it. And it's funny because on July 4th, I have a tradition where I always go back to my hometown. I always go back to my hometown, and that's where my mother is buried. My grandparents are buried in my hometown. Like, my hometown, we have deep roots in my hometown. And so I just literally had been home. Like, and I took, you know, like, I took like a nostalgic moment yesterday to drive past the house where I grew up. So it was like I literally spent like all day in my hometown and then came home, and then this like random person, you know, random friend on TikTok was just like, your mother has a message for you. And again, it wasn't, you know, it wasn't like general, you know. I know sometimes I of course get skeptical. I hate seeing people get scammed, and I don't think like this. I know this person well enough that I don't think she's a scammer at all, which was part of why I'm like, oh, maybe like this is part of why it got my attention, because I trust this person. Because like I hate, right? Like, I don't like seeing people get scammed. Some people who do that kind of stuff are totally scammers. Like, please be very careful out there in your vulnerability with grief, who you just like employ, right? Like, I think there are definitely people who prey on other people with grief to make money through fake mediumship, and that's not cool. But this person I trust, as I say, she didn't ask me for money. She had no earthly reason to do this, but she was just like dropping this very specific stuff. And it was, as I say, it wasn't like general messages. It wasn't just like, oh, your mother loves you. You know what I mean? It wasn't like cold reading kind of stuff. I was like, this is crazy. So it just felt like a whole lot of love just came my way. And for the record, this was also, I was debating whether to keep this private, but I'll just share. You guys are so sweet. It wasn't just my mother. She was like, there's another little female interrupting things. And she kept saying, and we weren't sure what to make of this at first. But she asked me, she was like, baby girl is coming out, baby girl. And I was like, I never lost a child. I never, baby girl. And it wasn't until today and she was like, this baby girl is like nonsense. She's like the baby girl that's here is like interrupting your mother, but like it's nonsense. It's just like a bunch of love and nonsense kind of thing. And I was like, what was that? And then it hit me today. And that was, I used to call Happy, our pet bunny, baby girl. I used to call like Happy you guys, some of you knew Happy from the live streams, and she passed last October. And I don't know what you think of this. Maybe you'll think I'm a stark raving lunatic. I don't know what to make of it all. But I texted this person this morning and was like, can you tell me more? Like, is there a way to get more confirmation about who the energy was? Like this other. And she was like, yeah. And she like did some confirmation. I was like, what else can you tell me about, like, who was this person? And I was like, who was this? Like, who was this? And she did more of her work. And she was like, it's not human. Like she was like, it's not human. And I was like, stop it. I was like, what else we got? And she did her thing. And she was like, it was definitely a pet. And I was like, OMG. So again, take what you will from this. I know I didn't solicit this. If you're just joining in, I had a totally unsolicited drive-by person who I trust, who is psychic, pull me aside yesterday to be like, I have an important message from your mom and like another female energy. Right, Lady M? Like, I was like, oh my God, like, because, and it's, you know what's, in real life, neither my brother nor I have any children. Like, we never had, like, we are childless by choice. And but Happy, my bunny, was like the only grandchild my mother ever knew. And we used to, in life, you know, she got really into that. We used to call my mother Bunny Grandma. It was really happy. Like in later years, it was nice to see my mom be happy with Happy the bunny. And she would like buy Happy toys and come pet her and things like that. So the idea that like, you know, Bunny Grandma is like taking care of Happy, like, in like, just, I don't know. So as I say, I don't know, like I had just a crazy experience yesterday of being pulled aside by somebody whom I trust, who was like, I have an important message for you, and got this very, 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 very specific, I'm not sharing everything just for privacy, but like very, very specific message, apparently from my mother from the afterlife, and my pet bunny Happy, to both just tell me that they love me and that I should relax and it's okay and everything's going to be okay, and like certain decisions I have to make, and like an apology from my mother, like an acknowledgement. I didn't necessarily felt like I demanded an apology, but just an acknowledgement, which was something very difficult. She really couldn't see her issues with her hoarding. It was very difficult for her to see them. And I would ask her to try to see it all the time so that we could fix it. So it was really beautiful. It was really beautiful. Whatever it was, I'm going to take it. It only came. I'm sure she is, Mike. I'm sure she is, wherever she is. I will always keep her, my little munched on Grimm Brothers Grimm. So it definitely, Angela, that's lovely. Let me just backtrack with some of your comments. I'm feeling so many emotions, trying to stay composed and not like break down. You'd love to get a tarot reading, Angela? Yeah, like, you know, I mean, there are so many, I mean, I feel like with this stuff, right, like, again, there are so many, like, potential con artists out there. Like, just find somebody that you trust. Yeah, KT, right? Like, it was totally a lot. You got a reading by Teresa Caputo, Angela? How did you feel about that? Little Poots, you're so sweet. You guys are kind human beings. Thank you. Thank you so much. So it definitely felt like closure for both of them. Because my mom, as I say, like my mom, it was something we always fought about, you know. I wanted better for her. I wanted better as a kid. I wanted better for our house and our relationship. So it definitely, just to know she's at peace, and to know Happy's at peace, because we lost Happy very abruptly. Very abruptly. So to know that they're both like in a better place, full of love. There was like nothing but love. There was like nothing but love. And happy from beyond. Exactly, Stones fan. She was amazing for you, Angela, Therese Caputo. You were crying with everything she said. Sometimes your mind is your worst enemy. It's so true, Jeff Hickman. Ryan, can you ask? Yes, we do. You can always ask Ryan. I appreciate Ryan. I want to, like, guys, props to Ryan, right? Like, Ryan is always such a gentleman and gentle in the way that you ask things. I love your directness and your gentleness, Ryan. I give you a lot of, if it's okay, I know you're, like, I don't know how, if you're I know you're, like, a guy. I don't know how guys feel about being called gentle, but I mean that with, like, a lot of, for this lady, right? You've handled this lady very directly and gently. And I appreciate that. And, yes, my brother and I do have a relationship. He lives still in New Jersey. He lives down in Jersey City. We don't talk as often as we'd like to. I think just like the busyness of adulthood. And I also think, because like a lot went down in our family, and I think it's been good to kind of take time apart. This is just my opinion. Sharon, what's up? It's been good to kind of like, almost like a new chapter. It's like, let's let go of childhood. Let's let go of the past. Let's sort of like there was like a lot going on in our family in 2021 in particular. That was like those years, 2020, 2021, 2022, like it's been better and better, but it's been good to kind of, but definitely affection for each other. And I know if I called him right now and was like, I need you to come up here, he would. And I would for him. Like, of course, he has a really, I love his girlfriend. He has a long-term partner that they've worked very hard on their relationship. And they live down in Jersey City with a couple dogs. He has a 3-legged dog. My brother has a 3-legged dog. They have like a menagerie of animals. There's like cats and things. We both ended up with like fur babies. Angela, Teresa Caputo told you that your brother wanted to thank you and Paul. Your brother wanted to thank you and Paul for giving him a funeral, and he apologized. Angela, I'm so thankful for you to have had that closure about your brother. Hi, John J. Trombino. Welcome, everybody. So if folks can relate in the comments, feel free to share your own stories. But again, I don't mean to push any particular, like this came by and found me. You know what I'm saying? Like this was something that found me. And because I felt nothing, there was nothing coming at me but love, I'm going to receive it and take it in a mysterious way. I'm going to sit with the mystery of it. I can't explain it, but I'm not sure. Like, it's like, why take it apart? Everything that happened was given in love. Hi, John J. Trombino. John J. Trombino sending 11 more roses. I thank you oh so much tonight. Hey, Lise, what's up? Angela, that is so beautiful. You got a chance for that closure. Sharon, you got your air conditioner fixed. Hallelujah. Sharon, Sharon is so cool. I'm going to make the pun, Sharon. Lise joining the team tonight. How are you doing, Miss Lise? Bonjour, KT and Maya. Thanks for the roses. And Tommy, Jeff, I thank you all. Oh my goodness, did we just hit the... And Celtic Wolf, thanks for 7, 10, 11, 13 more roses, 15. Oh my goodness. And Jeff Hickman, thanks for roses too. Oh my goodness. But guys, if you have a similarly, like a coincidental crazy story like that you wish to share, feel free in the comments, but please also remember this is a live public place. Even if you feel excited, just take care that if there's something special to you that you want to keep it private. Guys, we hit our live goal, woohoo! That's what I'm talking about. Friday, starting to get that gas tank filled for the weekend. Thank you so much, everybody. Shall we do it? I can hear Davey and Robert J. Bannon somewhere off in the distance. Katie, damn it, reset that live goal. What do we need, guys, now? Let's keep filling that tank. I want to travel the world with you. I want to be able to travel to Rhode Island and parts beyond, wherever we're going. Anywhere, Maid of the Mist, whatever these ideas are. Let's do this. How about... some of these things they've changed up all the gifts. Like, should we just have some sneaky gnomes? These gnomes just, like, snuck in here. Let's have a bunch of gnomes. There's no one like you. And I want to express it. Tommy says ice creams. We can change it to ice creams. Celtic Wolf is like, reset the goal! I could see if he wants to come on here. It's funny, he like knows I'm on TikTok, but he was like, he's trying to like, he's like, let me give you space and stuff. He does music. My brother's a little bit of a he works in the medical fields. He's like a manager for like a medical practice, like a business office manager for medical practice. But by night, he's a musician. Celtic Wolf sending lightnings very, very frighteningly. We could do that. I could see if my brother wants to come on the live stream. If you guys want to meet my brother, I could be like, dude, they want to meet you. And he'll probably be like, oh, I don't know. He's got hair too. He's got big floppy hair. And he wears glasses. His name is Andy. Bath Boys, saxophone. Are you just like saying saxophone randomly, Bath Boys? I want to know about this. Saxophone? Should we just say that to each other? Sorry, Elise, we're talking about my brother. Ryan was asking me if I have a relationship with my brother. I am older. Stones fan. Stones fan is like, that's a good name. Oh, I'm sorry, Bath Boys. I just thought you were, Bath Boys, you kind of got me on a, like, having been raised on Monty Python and all of their non sequiturs, I just kind of thought you were coming into the room being like, saxophone? Saxophone? Don't mind if I do. Oh my goodness, Sharon. Well, you got to take care of yourself, friends. How... Oh my goodness. How are you feeling now? Tommy, you are a wonderfully charismatic and attractive person in your own right. But if you lean over, Tommy, I don't know if this will help, but I will wipe some of my hair on you. May the power of follicular power, may the power of hair compel you. I don't mean to sound obnoxious about my hair though, Tommy, because I like, for the record, I mean, ladies, like the ladies who are into the boys in the room. I don't mean in the room, but like for the ladies who are into boys, like, I mean, men with no hair, still pretty hot, right? Can we just like talk about that? I mean, like Patrick Stewart, like, I mean, even Mr. Clean, he's fit. But seriously, I mean, like, goodness gracious, like, come on. Ooh, Mike, you're having surgery on your eye on Monday. Can I boop that? Can we boop that and put good vibes all over that? Boop, 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 boop. Boop, boop, boop. Mike, and I'm booping your dizziness, Sharon. Boop, 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 boop. Prayers and boops to everybody tonight who is not feeling well or has something to face with their health one way or another. Booping. Ryan is booping. Might be the heat, Sharon. I'm glad if you're feeling better. Little Poots is like Patrick Stewart. Hearts. Father of goats. Lisa's like, Tim. Right? It's just like, you know, Tommy, gentlemen, like, fear not about your hair. Like, it's, just work your charisma. Like, just believe in yourself. Looks are only skin deep, Wandali. And you can see more skin when the gentleman has short hair or is bald. I don't know what that means. I'm just saying. Mr. Clean was the rock of his generation. Like a rock. It's so true, Bath Boys. He does have tons of hair. Jeff at this time has tons of hair. But I'm just saying, like, Rapunzelized. Shrubbery, Tim says. Guys, if Tim is calling for a shrubbery, should we all say knee at Tim? If you know what I'm talking about with Monty Python and the Holy Grail. Can we all say knee, knee, knee? I say knee to Father of Goats. Who wants to say knee to Lisa's husband with me? Rick, what are you doing? I see your hay. What are you doing, Rick? You have lots of hair on your beard, Rick. KT, poor KT, I've totally gotten lost between the comments. Sorry, KT. I'm doing that thing where I have 17 conversations at the same time because I'm punchy and tired. Sorry. I think the moral of the story... Bath Boys, you love the catapult quiz. Neat, says Tommy. You're funny. You saw Monty Python at the theaters when you were a kid, Bath Boys? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I don't want to leave anybody out. This is from Monty Python and the Holy Grail. There are these characters, these very silly, it's meant to be really funny, these knights. And they demand a tribute of being brought a shrubbery, like a little bit of plants. And they're the knights who say knee, and they just menace you by going knee, knee, knee. And it's very silly. That's true, Jeff Hickman. My brother and Jeff could totally have a Jeffily band. Rick says the Rick is to comb up and back over the top. Angela says Arnold is playing piano while I'm in my room. Nice! Got a lot of music going on. So yes, I don't want anybody confused. So to recap tonight, we've established that many people in this room like White Castle. It seems, according to a psychic medium on TikTok, my mother sent me a message of love spontaneously yesterday. And also, men are definitely attractive if they've lost their hair or are bald. Gentlemen, this is so true. Just because I was with Jeff now doesn't mean I was with other people before. And let me tell you, I'm saying, they're like, we've got Patrick Stewart. I wonder how Tim, like Lise, we're like, Tim's got to feel good tonight. We're like the attractive bald men right off the top of our heads. And we're like, Patrick Stewart, Mr. Clean, Tim. Lisa's like, father of goats. And you're right up there with our nominees immediately. So like, gentlemen, fear not. There you go, Tommy. Just like working the love. Jason, you can't go to the city tomorrow? I'm so sorry. I'm probably not going to go myself. Paul Lewis is in the house. What's up, Paul? How did the rest of your day turn out with it getting like rained and stuff? Tim played squirrel trivia. Yeah, how did everybody's days kind of turn out? Because all of a sudden there were like all these rainstorms yesterday. Dwayne Johnson, right, Lady M? Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis, delicious. Delicious. Telly Savalas, definitely Casey and Maya. Was it Kojak, right? Hi, Jalen Harrison. I had a beautiful 4th of July yesterday. Thank you. Paul Lewis misses the Sloppy Joe sliders from... I never had those. Stones fan says, thanks goodness women feel that way, that bald men are attractive. Because it's why the planet is full of people. It's so true. Hello, Mr. Yang. How was yours, Jalen? Everybody feel free to share in the comments. Maybe what was something... So I asked this in the Discord, but let's all chime in on this if you like. What's something that you ate yesterday that you were really happy about? Let's hear. Oh my gosh, Angela. Oh my goodness. Who was this lady? Was it like a faculty member from the school or a family member? Ooh, at least you had a sausage burger. Did you make this or did Tim make it? S'mores, JG Nelson, how's it going? Japan Punk had some Pepsi that was delicious. Margaret says some grilled burgers. A Reuben, nice, Stones fan. Mariposa says, what, I could star in the next Aquaman movie? Why, because I'm so fishy? Just kidding. Oh my goodness, Angela, that is a wild story. Jason, yeah, that could work. Beth Boy says breakfast, ham and cheese omelet with potatoes and toast. Oh, would you guys like to see? Hi, Philippe. How are you? Wandali is calling out some Italian sausage and grilled potatoes. Delicious. Tommy Collins is calling out some lasagna. Mariposa, you're very sweet. Thank you. I'm just joking with you. I appreciate your kindness. Thank you very much. Paul Lewis, you had a sausage pasty today made in Penn, Argyle, Pennsylvania. I've never heard of Penn, Argyle, Pennsylvania. Philippe, I am very happy because I am here with such beautiful people. And I mean it every time I say it. Aren't we lucky? I am so lucky and fortunate. I'm sorry, I'm getting poked by my charger. I feel so lucky. You're all so silly and so wonderful and so fun. I want to hug all of you. Margaret, how are things going with that? I've been tracking a little bit of that in the news about the hurricane. Philippe, I'm glad if you're great. And Jalen, you got to see the Macy's fireworks display? Awesome. Goodness, Angela, what a story. Bath Boy says, strange world when the most popular person is the Hokta girl. I'm sorry, Bath Boys. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm sure it's very nice. I'm sorry. Margaret says, my friend in Corpus Christi is boarding up. Got it. Yeah, everybody, watch that news. Take care of yourself. Your Aunt Helen was a known psychic? Interesting, Angela. Jeff Hickman, thank you so much for the TGIFs. TGIF indeed. TGIF to be able to hang out with such wonderful friends. Lee says, if you want to see a handsome balding man, watch Father of Goats take on squirrel trivia. That sounds good, Lise. Where and when can we see such things? Right one, Dolly. Jersey Mike says pasties were the original Hot Pocket. That sounds delicious. A lot of Cornish folks settled in Penn Argyle, Pennsylvania. Interesting, Paul Lewis. Stones fan, if you're asking me, am I skeptical of mediums? I feel like I would say I'm skeptical. I'm not like skeptical like of mediums like, I mean, guys, like I'll put it this way. I think there are things in this world that are much bigger than me to explain. Like there's a lot of stuff I don't understand. And just like I've said, like I don't think it's appropriate for me, a mortal woman, to tell you what's happening for you spiritually. Like if you're like, I know my spiritual experience, I'm not going to be like, well, no, let me tell you about what's happening. You know, like, I don't know. I even think that's dangerous territory for like priests and things to do. It's like, you know, even somebody, you may be very scholarly and learned, you know, spiritually, but like, I think, what is it? Like the only true wisdom is in knowing that you know nothing. Socrates. So that said, you know, I try to approach, just because there are definitely con people out there, I try to approach all of it very carefully and just take it with a grain of salt. But anything that happens, I think, in the context of love, like, this is just me being me. You know, I think one can feel when something is happening in a truly loving way. And so if something is happening for you, to you, with you in love, like via love, you know, comfort, care, sincerity, somebody holding space for you, honestly, like, you know, even if you don't fully understand it, I'm like, I think it's okay to like let your heart be open to it. But I don't like people who prey on people's grief to make money. I don't think that's very nice to do. I think those people are hurt people who are hurting people. So you just watched two kangaroos sparring. I don't know if does that answer your question, Stones fan? Pasties were the lunch of many miners in New Jersey and Pennsylvania. Really, Jersey Mike? Like, meanwhile, in the background, the history of pasties is unfolding. Sharon, your dad was bald? Interesting. Lisa, I will definitely... Oh, Wandali, you're so sweet. I thank TikTok for bringing us all together. Katie, don't ask. Margaret, what shouldn't I ask? Paul Lewis, I've had some interesting interactions with animals since your parents passed. Really, Paul? Very interesting. Oh, Bath Boys. It's so true. They do. And we'll leave that there. Oh my goodness, you guys are just like beautiful. Oh, okay. Bath Boys, you're good. You're good. Sorry, you're good. Bath Boys, I love you. But we got there. Is there one god or multiple gods because there are multiple religions? I don't know. That's what I mean to say. Like, I don't know. And I think it's important that everybody finds the path that's right for you. Right? Mediumship, shamanism, they're right, like so many, I'll say it this way, like there's so many interesting things I think to learn about spiritually that are like, that people are doing in an authentic way. I'm definitely curious about it. Angela, sweetie, we send you so much love. Girl, you do so much for this community. Seriously, you do work so hard for your family, and we're so glad you're here. And Bath Boy, you're sharing your aunt visited you after she died. Just smiling, looking very content as you saw her when you were a kid. Wow, Bath Boys, oh my gosh. What an experience. Pasties and pierogies. Okay, so we're having 17 we're having like a huge spiritual conversation, which I want to give respect to. And then we're also talking about pasties, meaning Hot Pocket-esque items one can eat. Welcome to like the Katie did hodgepodge of Friday night. Pasty podge of Friday night. So are the pasties like pierogies, or are they more like Hot Pockets? And can we bring them? Right. Gigi Nelson, you hold that your backyard maple's big branch and you talk to her. That's your spirituality. Beautiful. It was in a dream, so you're not sure if that proves anything. I think, Bath Boys, you gotta follow your heart. I like the phrase, take what resonates, leave the rest, or as Tabitha would say, tea leaf reader, right? She'd say, create your own fate. Sharon says, I do believe in ghosts. I hope I still make my dad proud. Wish you could get a sign from him. I see, Sharon. I send love to that. May you get your sign if that's something that you need. Like booping, 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 booping. Like I will certainly join you in a prayer that you may get the signs you're looking for. You never know. I'm learning, like, you never know with this stuff. Paul Lewis says pasties are bigger, 10 ounces per item. Some are 14 ounces. And if you're just tuning in, we're talking about a Hot Pocket-esque item, also known as pasties, from Pennsylvania. And nothing else. Bath Boys, your aunt had 5 kids, grandkids, and great-grandkids. Why visit a nephew? Why not? Why not, though? Sometimes I wonder with that stuff that, like, maybe what is coming to you is just something that you need. I'm talking out two sides of my mouth. Sometimes I ask the why questions, like why, but why this, but why that? I'm not sure. Like, does asking why help? I don't know. CD Camp, you were told your mom is one who greets people when they pass, and she had been a nun. So that makes sense. Interesting, CD Camp. Lise says, for you, nature is your church and religion. I appreciate you sharing that, Miss Lise. Right, One Dolly's like, we're out here now. You don't know why you can't dream of them, Angela. I don't know. Maybe that would be something to explore with somebody professional, whether a spiritual person or like a therapist or something. I don't know. I appreciate you guys sharing the things that bring you peace, the things your heart's longing for. Transcendental Mad Libs last belly bender. Maybe a little bit tonight. Follow your heart, but feel your gut. That's pretty good advice there, Wandali. That resonates with me anyway. Interesting. And CD Camp, I appreciate you sharing this story that your mom felt her calling elsewhere and met your father years after leaving being a nun. Very interesting. Last belly bender, were you denied? Lise, you're like a 2-year-old. You ask why all the time. I need to come to a certain level of understanding to process. Right. Yes, I am a social worker who counsels couples. I do. So I do couples counseling and individual counseling. I mostly focus on relationship kind of matters, but not always. Depends on what the person needs or the couple needs. That's my story. Jimmer loves humans. Whatever it's worth. I think, you know, what is it? Who is it? Mr. Rogers, who said that he feels that love is at the very, very center of the universe, ultimately. Love goblins. Thank you so much. Hi, Steve. No, Bath Boys, I didn't know you were Masco. Thank you. Guys, Bath Boys is Masco. This is awesome to know. Thank you for the gnomes and a dinosaur! Oh my god! Dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee. Perhaps the gnomes will protect us from the dinosaur. Masco 519, exactly. Steve, I'm so good. I'm so happy to be here with everybody tonight. Oh no, Masco. I'm so sorry, but I'm glad you're back here. I'm so glad you made it back. Jose, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You're very sweet. Yeah, Wandeli, I you know, take or leave this, guys, and I'm interested in what you have to say. This is a conversation. I'm not just, like, pontificating on a Friday, but, like, you know, I find, like, I feel better, and I feel better about people around me, too, even when they're, like, not, like, if I'm getting meanness toward me or something. I feel better when I try to put myself in the mindset that, like, we're all just students. Like, we've been born into a mystery, and we should all take it easy on ourselves and one another. Like, there's a lot to this existence that's mysterious. And, you know, and if you feel like you know certain things, like, why should I challenge that? I don't see the world from your perspective. But at the same time, it's like, I also don't want to, I don't think we should, like, stomp on each other. Like, I don't want to feel like I have to know something so badly that it stomps on you, right? Like, I will never, as a mortal woman, understand the divine, the higher powers, whatever we would call it, God, the universe. Like, there's so many words, right? Like, I'm a flesh and blood person. I will never fully understand the omniscient things of the universe. So why should I hurt you over that? It's not right for me to hurt you over that one way or another. But so whatever it is you guys are looking for, like, if something has come to you in love, like, as long as we're putting love at the center of everything, truly, and healthy boundaries, right? I'm like, may you all find what you're looking for. Like, may you all find what you're looking for, and may you all be, like, and I share with you also the joys for what you have found spiritually, too. Some of you have worked very hard on your spirituality, and I'm proud of you for that, inspired by you from that. Tommy, you're funny. You liked my big word. Like, I'm so inspired by each of you so often for the things that you have done. Like, Lise, I'm so inspired by you and how much work you've done in your life with your spirituality. And exactly, Stones fan, I think you're right. Where there's a vacuum, where there's like not knowing, we definitely can plug in answers. And then when my answer doesn't match your answer, it's like stop fighting. We're both in this together. We're both in the mystery of this together. $1, you're talking about learning how to do things differently. Paul Lewis, Ren Fair has not started yet, but it's coming up, and I'm really excited about it. So, Masco, we'll see. We'll see about that. Andy! Guys on the air with Andy is in the house. Andy. So, not to abruptly change the subject, I want to go back to food. Do you guys want to see something really silly? I saw this. I was in Kingston a couple days ago. Kingston, New York. Space Coast, you got your Henry VIII costume ready to go? Space Coast is Henry VIII, they are. Henry VIII, they are. They got married to the widow next door. She's been married 7 times before, and everyone was an Henry. I'll let you say it. She wouldn't, something a Willie or a Sam. They're her 8th old man, they're Henry. Henry VIII, Space Coast is Kingston, New York. So, oh, Miss Sharon, we got to get you to that cooler weather. I am so glad that your air conditioning is fixed. So I was in Kingston, New York a couple days ago and thinking about July 4th. And I don't know if you guys might remember, but when we have visited the city of Kingston, New York, there's a bakery called Dysing's. Dysing's Bakery of Kingston, New York is one of the most popular bakeries in the Hudson Valley, no question, where I live. Hi, if you're good, I'm your dude. I love your username. Namaste to you in Nepal. Welcome, welcome. I am sitting in my living room in New York, New York State, about 90 minutes or so northwest of New York City in New York's Hudson Valley. Welcome, welcome. Herman's Hermits, exactly. So, okay, so I was in this bakery in Kingston, New York, and I was like, they made these like 2 years ago. I went into the bakery, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they have these cakes again. Look at this silly cake. Do you want to see a silly cake? I'm going to show you a silly cake. We've eaten a little bit of it. Right, they got to see, right, Jeff? Jeff came in, guys.
Hello.
This is like the silliest cake. I'm wrestling it out of the freezer. So, yesterday for July 4th, Jeff and I talked about what we wanted to have. I said I want to have burgers and fries, and we did, in fact, have our burgers and fries. And for dessert, this is again from Dysing's Bakery in the city of Kingston, New York. It's 7:03 a.m. in Nepal. If you're good, I'm your dude. Welcome here. This is actually, for those of you who are new here, and I'm going to hold up the cake. I don't mean to create cake fuss. Look at this silly cake. It's a cake. It's cake. Look at this. And we may have gotten into a little bit of it yesterday. But if you're new here, I welcome you. Like, if you're good, I'm your dude. Welcome, welcome. You're actually visiting a travel channel, believe it or not. I'm Katie, the Curious Katie did, and this is my cake. Oh, look, some frosting has melted off. I'll have to dispose of it. Oh my gosh, some more frosting melted off. I have to clean up the frosting. Can't get messy. So this is a travel channel you have stumbled onto. Isn't that crazy, Elise? And this is all, it's just cake and frosting. Cake and frosting and like Neil Armstrong. One small step for cakery. Right? Isn't that crazy one, Dolly? And it's chocolate cake. It's vanilla cake and like frosting, and then chocolate cake, and then vanilla cake. That's just being tidy. Exactly, Stones fan. Stones fan, like, right? Stones fan, you get me. You feel me, Stones fan. The calories don't count when you're just cleaning it up. Hi, Claudia. Welcome. So, I was just in the middle of my spiel saying, if you're new here, you're most welcome. We love being pen pals with people as we're gathered here from all over the world and all over the country on TikTok. So I'm your dude. If you want to tell us something about Nepal, what's like a delicious food in Nepal that we should try? If I may ask you. What's up, Fiction So Real? Paul Lewis is saying the Clinton Station Diner over in Jersey can make up to a 100-pound hamburger. But yes, but will they remember to make the phone call after I eat the hamburger to call for help? That's what I want to know. Hi, Chronicles of Chaotic Kitty. I love it. I love your name. I need to say it. So if you're good, I'm your dude says try the dal, bhat, and curry when in Nepal. Sounds delicious. Would you like to tell us about those dishes a little bit? What's like a little bit in each one of those things in case people don't know? Fiction Surrealist makes you want a glass of milk and a slice. I wish. If you guys want to take, do you guys want to take a bite, an imaginary bite of cake? An imaginary bite is much healthier than a real bite of this cake, I gotta tell you. Like, just imagine, it basically just tastes like vanilla and chocolate cake and buttercream. Like, get right in there if you want to bite. Like, scratch and sniff it. It's just sweet, sweet frosted cake. So I was like, we need this cake. And that's my story of July 4th. Like, this cake. You're allergic to curry, Lise? Oh! Guys, do we want to help Andy out with the battle? What do you guys think? Should we help out Andy with her battle stats? I don't mind helping Andy out with battle stats, but I want to ask everybody in here, how do you feel about that? Tommy Collins. Should we help out Andy with her battle stats? It's for 6 to 9 people, Paul. Got it. Not if I can help it, Paul. Paul's like, the burger's for 6 to 9 people. I'm like, hold my burger. I gotta go eat that burger. Vicarious cake. Exactly, Paul. And you eat spice cake in Nepal. Thank you. If you're good, I'm your dude. It's so nice to meet you. Guys, we have a friend from Nepal in the room tonight, a new friend. So yes, I'm sorry, I'll get out my spiel here. If you don't know me, welcome everybody. My name is Katie. I live in New York State, in America. And specifically, I live pretty much right outside of New York City, about an hour and a half away by car with no traffic. And every week on Sundays are the big day on this channel, we take walking tours of different towns and cities all throughout, the Hudson Valley area of New York where I live. This cake, for example, I don't live in the town where I got this cake. You can buy this beautiful cake at the 4th of July in Kingston, New York, at a bakery called Dysing's Bakery. And during the week, like this, what you're watching now, during the week we get together, we fundraise to fill up our gas tank for those Sunday travels. Right now we're looking for 150 gnomes. There's no place like Nome. There's no place like Nome to help fill our gas tank so we can get to traveling. We have only like 48 hours left. At least you're getting bitten by mosquitoes. Have a wonderful night, my friends. Bye if you're good. I'm your dude. Okay, that sounds good, guys. The cake reminds you of the Born in the USA Mad Lib. That was so good. Thank you, Trisha. Thank you, Steve, for jumping in with the gnomes. We need like a gnome song. Some gnome over the rainbow. Trisha sent. Steve sent gnomes also too, yes. Thank you so much for the gnomes. There's a Moravian church in Nepal? Interesting, Paul. Thank you so much, if you're good, I'm your dude, for teaching us little bits about Nepal. So yeah, if you guys are good, well, let's help Andy out with her battle stats. I'm gonna put my cake away. Oh, look, there's a little more crumb on the side. I did take a little cheat day yesterday with the 4th of July. I have to get rid of this cake now. Goodbye, cake. Do you guys want to play Mad Libs tonight? So last night, if I had gone live, I had like 4th of July-y things for us to do. So, for example, jokes like, what did the ghost say on the 4th of July? What do you think? Hi, Oscar. Right? North America and South America are the entire continents. Home Sweet Gnome. There you go, Jeff Hickman. We need like the gnome song. Right? Gnome, gnome on the range, where the gnomes are sneaky and sweet. Where Steve sent some gnomes. Oh, say can you see me? There you go, Trisha. I thought maybe tonight we could, like the 4th of July pick would be Firework, Katy Perry's Fireworks. What do you think, Firework? Would you like to Mad Libsify Firework? We could also just reread the Born in the USA. I thought the Born in the USA was so good, Trisha. Like you guys did so good with that. Oh yeah, sorry, One Dolly. What did the go? I'm telling you guys, yesterday, your brain gets a little loopy when a psychic person sends you a message from your mother. What did the ghost say on the 4th of July? Red, white, and boo! I hope I didn't scare you. What did the ghost say on the 4th of July? Red, white, and boo. Boo. Trisha's like, ah! What? Right, you guys like that one? You feel free to use it. We could go around and just do that to each other. Ah, CD cam. Margaret, I know it was in you. Gnome in the elevator. Okay, Tommy, can't wait to see you back, man. So we've established gnome puns. Bald men are attractive. Keep your chin up. Love puffs are part of this complete breakfast. You will giggle at the ghosties, Paul. Me too. That sounds phenomenal. I would like to sit with Paul Lewis and giggle at ghosties. So, what did the tourists say when they left the Statue of Liberty? This is very cheesy. What did the tourists say when they left the Statue of Liberty? What do we think? What did the tourists say when they left the Statue of Liberty? Keep in torch. Oh, that's a good one, Trisha. Sharon, that's okay, sweetie. Sharon, you finally have air conditioning and you haven't been feeling well in the heat. Sharon, my darling, you just make yourself comfortable and relax. Like, that's your job. And we will keep you company. It's not easy being green. That's good, Jeff Hickman. What did the tourist say? That is really good. Hey, Sissy Gibb, what's going on, guys? If you're just tuning in, we're kind of vamping for time and hanging out. We're probably doing a battle on the air with Andy, just to help out Andy's battle stats. So stay tuned. And in the meantime, we're sort of clowning around. We can start a Mad Libs game if you like. Do you guys want to do Katy Perry's Firework? What do you think of that? Or I can reread Born in the USA. It was pretty epic Wednesday night. Stones fan, I agree. Wouldn't that have been wonderful? A reread would be fun, Trisha. Margaret, were you sharing the reread? We could add like one more word. Just to like refresh it. I literally have it right here. If you were with us Wednesday night, you're sharing to both. Got it, Margaret. So let's do an epic reread of Born in the USA first, and then we'll see if Andy shows up for the battle, and then maybe we'll take it from there. So Wednesday night, you guys created, those who were there, El Carlitos was there, you guys created an epic Mad Libsified version of Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen. And let's add one word tonight. What do you say to kind of freshen it up? And then we'll do, for the 4th of July, an official read. It says, so I'll need, right? Take a moment to meditate. All are welcome to play Mad Libs with us. Take a moment, please, to meditate. Libserate your mind. Please let the silliest words that you know come to mind. Come straight to the surface. And let's see. When you're ready, please offer up, as we play here together, a silly adjective. And an adjective is a description word, like frosty or moist. Or red. If you're ready. Guys, look at this. Can we just talk about this for a second? Almost 11,500 likes. Thanks to the likes of you. Boop, 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 boop. You guys are so sweet. I feel like I want to solve a crime with all of you. I wish we had like a mystery van. I just want to pile in a van with all of you and solve a crime. Springy. Happy. Giggly, says Smile Power. Goopy, CD Camp. We're just refreshing this real quick. We're like putting a little Friday night tingly. Fuzzy. Sparkly. That's good for 4th of July there, Wandali. Oh my gosh, Margaret, we should like have our own mystery dinner. I am completely, Margaret, maybe there's a way for us to like do it in a live. Maybe like Rick, we could get some like like we should do like, would that be so fun, guys, to do like a, as Dwight Schrute would say, a muck duck mystery. Like for those of you who'd want to like co-stream, we could all play like characters in a muck duck mystery, and then like everybody else. What do you think, Mr. Jeff? Right?
Just put together muck duck mystery.
Muck duck mystery. Katie Clue. Order White Castle and do a mystery dinner, right, Margaret? Tigerlicious, Paul? Tigger? Tiggerlicious? The wonderful thing about Tiggers, or that Tiggers are wonderful things. Okay, that's good. All right, and now. Let us do an official, so thank you everybody. Bears beats Battlestar Galactica. Exactly, Paul Lewis. Like, Muck Duck is Dwight Schrute's word for unaliving somebody in the office, in case you don't know. So here we go. Karaoke board. So this is just basically, you guys just gave me a couple words. Here is a reread in honor of the 4th of July. Right? Here we go. We got to do this properly. What am I doing? What am I doing? I'm like, I need to mind my Mad Libs manners. Minding my Mad Libs manners. Here we go. What do you mean video unavailable?
What?
I demand satisfaction. Here we go. Ladies, gentlemen, and people of all genders, good evening and welcome to Mad Libs Trapeze Theatre. I am your host, Phyllis Stein. This evening we have a most patriotic pleasure for you by special request, a encore performance of the Mad Libsified parodic version of Born in the USA by the boss himself, Bruce Springsteen. Please, as Miss Margaret is indicating, our lovely, please, pinkies up, snoots up, tails up, thumbs up, hopefully. Let us get ourselves, congratulate yourselves, right? Put your snoots in the air with pride like you just don't care. I'm proud of you all for this silliness that you have created. This Mad Libs was pre-recorded in front of a studio audience. No, we're live! We're live! Indeed, snoots up. As written by you, I give you Born in the USA, written by Bruce Springsteen, and now you. There we go. Monster PC is served with Alistair cookies. Exactly, Paul. Here we go. Talk about people. It's now as enhanced a moment ago with some additional words. Born down in a goopy, springy, giggly, hoppy, jolly incognito, writhing, sweaty, tingly, sparkling, tiggerlicious, chewy, peanutty man's town. The first ricochet jump, the first gummy wobble plop I took was when I hit the ground. End up like a capybara, a platypus, a hedgehog, and a possum. End up like a lemur, tree frog, a katydid, an anteater, squirrel, chipmunks, and kangaroo that's been safety danced, roboted, Carlton, bumped, Dougied, and Macarenaed too much. Till you spend half your life just booping up now, clog dancing, tapping, slip sliding, barfing, and dad dancing away. Born in the USA. I was born apple pie eating and grease pole climbing in the USA. I was born booming, fireworks modifying in the USA. Born log rolling, New York City live streaming, barbecuing, race car driving, red, white, and blue, and family reunioning, hops drinking, beanbag tossing, asking everyone what they do for a living, potato sack racing, born in the USA. Mullets, America. And that's what we got. You should take a bow. You should take a bow. That's Trisha sending fireworks. Trisha showing what she's worth. Make 'em go, ah, ah, ah. You're gonna leave us going, ah, ah, ah. Trisha, oh my goodness, thank you so much. For you guys, born in the USA. Yay! Like, yay! Trisha, yay! Yay, everybody! It was brilliant. It was Brisha. Brilliant. Brisha. That was Trisha and brilliant mushed together as one word. Trisha, you're adorable. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness. So there we have it, guys. Bonjour, Jeff Hickman. Thanks for the rose, dear. So that's our story, Morning Glories. Born in the USA. So it's getting late. We're hoping Andy's going to come back for a battle. I feel like, I don't know about you guys, I feel like, I'm not sure I'm as into battling, but I'm definitely happy to support the other, like Teely Frieder, Andy, like anybody else in here who's like trying to boost their battle stats. And I just appreciate what you guys do, of course, too, at that time. Sheila, how's it going, Miss Sheila? Sneaky gnome. What is it about this gnome that makes it sneaky? I love it. I love sneaky gnome. We're almost halfway on our sneaky gnome goal. Would you guys like to try to Mad Libs fireworks while we wait for Andy? What would you guys like to do? And in the meantime, while you're thinking, I can read some more jokes. I'm staring at this cake. I haven't had any dinner yet. I want the cake. I'm going to show the cake again and hope that more of it spills. This is the cake we got for the 4th of July. If you are just coming in and you didn't get a chance to see it, this is cake. It's literally vanilla cake, chocolate cake, vanilla cake. And I just thought it was really funny. So I bought it and brought it home for 4th of July. And that was the story. It was like $20. I was like, whatever. 4th of July comes but once a year. What's for dinner, Stones fan? I gotta figure that out. I think I'm actually trying to be good. I took a couple of cake nibbles and I'm like, that was nothing. It was like a lick of frosting. But I really should be good and be healthy tonight. So I don't know. I might have like frosting. But I really should be good and be healthy tonight. So I don't know. I might have like... Oh,
Katie!
oh, I'm such a fan of Andy, guys.
Well, it's funny you mention because I'm such a fan of yours.
You're propelling us into success for the evening.
I think you propel me into the success for the evening. So
Everybody give it up for On the Air with Andy joining us tonight. Hooray! Holiday
you
equals
have such a
Cupid.
fan club over there.
Yay! Right? That's what we're talking about. Blades of Glory. Ooh, oh no. Do you have all 10 fingers still? That was...
Yeah. I mean, it's like cute. It kind of just like stops if it hits something.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of safety.
Yeah, my neighbor gave it to me, and it's funny because I keep forgetting about it, and I'm like, I'm so hot, but I'm not allowed to put Carlos with the follow. Thank you so much. But like, we're not allowed to put the AC lower than 69, and I'm like, growing up, I would put it at like 65. What is happening? What is this anarchy over here?
So we'll fan you. Can we all fan?
Well,
fan
this
you.
helps a lot. Like, I'm so happy my neighbor gave me this.
That's lovely. It does look really handy. All right, guys, we're going into battle. We're helping Andy with the battle stats. Let's do this. Let's do this.
Ooh,
Let's.
how many nuggies do I have? I think I probably have like one or two. I'm not worried about it though.
Where would I look to know what nuggies I have?
It's you. Okay, so before, like OG, it used to be in the corner up here, like all the way around. And then they decided to take it down. I have two. And then, so now in the beginning, it tells you, like, up in the corner.
Oh,
But
okay.
my mom just told me that I have two. Sweetest Art and Soul, how are you doing today? Oh, shoot.
Should we do something? What should we do during this battle? Should we do? I mean, guys, I think after this battle, I will definitely
No
do bedtime
way!
story.
There's a flashlight!
Oh, that's awesome.
This is an anarchy of excitement.
Andy, do you want us? We could do a duet and sing to everybody.
What do you want to sing?
Jeff Hickman. We could sing. I could be like the Beast. You were singing that beautiful song from Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, I would have. Hi, Malia. I would have to get.
Trisha,
I would have to, I would have to get the lyrics.
Oh, okay. I don't mean to make you get up. We don't have to do that.
Oh, I can totally. It's literally. I see it right there.
Would you guys like a duet from Andy and I? Would it be nice if we sang to you guys? Also, we could ask Andy to guess the punchlines to the 4th of July jokes we were doing.
Oh my gosh, that sounds hilarious.
I'll tell the one. Guys, don't tell Andy. Here's the one. So, Andy, what did the ghost say on the 4th of July?
What did the ghost say on 4th of July? Don't tell me.
Okay, no. What did the ghost say on the 4th of July? Don't tell Andy.
I'm thinking too hard about it. I know I am. Hi, David. What did the ghost say on 4th of July? I mean, it's kind of cliche. It's like, let the 4th be with you.
That's good. We like it when we write our own punchlines in here too.
Times three gift points.
Times 3 gift points.
This is cuckoo bananas. All right, so like,
60. I don't know what this means.
so like, you need 60 points from a gift, and it could be like one person, or it could be a group. So it could be, Kristen, I was just about to ask you if you wanted to. So it could be like 6 tiny dinies. It could be a hand heart, like anything that gets you up to 60.
Got it. All right.
So if anyone wants to help me out and get to that 60, that'd be great.
Come on,
Great.
Andy's community. You got this, Andy's community.
It's all right.
Thank you, everybody over here. Thank you so much, guys. No, aren't you amazing? They're my favorite gnomes because you'll see. They're sending gnomes over here. Oh, are you singing into your fan? That can sound so cool.
Yeah, I am. Hey, Margaret. How are
Who
you,
likes to
Margaret?
sing into their fans?
It's okay, Kristen. I was gonna actually ask you after I battled with Katie. I was gonna see if you wanted to do a little battle.
Ah!
Welcome on
Trisha
in.
for the galaxy. Oh my goodness, Miss Trisha. Thank you so much. Oh my goodness, twinkle, twinkle, galaxy. Trisha is so sweet, you see. Trisha is so kind, and then Trisha's lovely once again. Trisha,
I love this
you're
for
so, you're so sweet. And then this dinosaur, Jeff Hickman, what are you tearing the dinosaur? Dee 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 dee.
Okay, did I get the punchline right, or did I get it wrong? Hi, Avery.
Andy, do you want to see the cake that we got for 4th of July?
I was there. I thought it was beautiful. I loved it. I want to take a bite of it.
You can if you want, if you lean this way. You have to go the other way, I think. There you go. There you go. That's better that... Oh my goodness, Rick, thank you so much. Twinkle, twinkle, razzle, dazzle, sending galaxies to travel. Rick
Oh
is...
my gosh, I call Razzle Dazzle. I call Razzle Dazzle. Hey, Razzle.
Right. What's the
Razzle with
Razzle
the
dazzle?
galaxy. Thank you, Razzle.
Oh, Rick is like the galaxy fairy.
You are a galaxy
Rick is
fairy.
like
Do you
Cassie
want to do
Galaxy.
one more? I'm supposed to get 5. Do you want to do one more? OMG, woohoo!
Sure, let's do this. Does it matter
If I
whether?
win or lose, no, I don't care.
Okay. All right, guys. Once more to help Andy with her stats.
I'm like,
Thank you
nah.
everybody so much. Thank you so much. And this is helping us fill our gas tank certainly for Sunday. So thank you so much. I'm great. I mean,
Hey,
guys.
cool group, how are you? Airplane fixer ship has entered the live today.
Trisha got a glove. That's
Am
a
I in the
thing.
agency? I am in the agency with Katie.
Yes. Andy and I both belong to the same Blue Shift agency. Perhaps Rick will belong hopefully soon.
Welcome, Paul, to the community.
Trisha,
I
you got a glove.
appreciate
I'm still getting
it.
used to what that means, but well done, Trisha. Oh, so Andy, I liked your punchline. What did the ghost say to
Blue.
on the 4th of July? Red, white, and boo.
Red, right, and boo. That's really cute.
Red, white, and boo. But I really like yours. May the fourth be with you. What did the ghost say on the 4th of July? May the fourth be with you. That would be like what did the Force ghosts say, right?
What would the ghost say on May 4th?
What would the ghost say on May 4th?
May the 4th be with you.
Fourth be with you. Well done. You need to know how to use the glove. I don't know how to use the glove.
Oh, okay, so you go into the gift thing in the backpack, but wait for the ×2 because then you can get ×7.
Oh wow.
With the cheers, thank you. With the cheers, 30 seconds on the clock. So don't drop it yet. Don't drop it yet. You gotta meet the 10 points. So that's one tiny. Razzle Dazzle has met it. Thank you for your contribution. Rawr. All right.
We should sing a duet about Rick.
We should. Okay, so and then make sure that like if you drop it, you want to try and drop it like
Not the May 4th joke, Sharon.
while okay, so now you drop it. So you go to the gift thing.
Go to the
Click the backpack and the gift, and then you click the glove, and then you hit the glove, and then gift, glove, gift, glove, gift.
I do that, or does somebody else?
No, whoever has the glove.
Oh, Trisha, just make sure you tap it before you gift.
Freaking way, Razzle.
Trisha sent the glove. Now here comes Trisha sending one more glove. Yes, Trisha is heading up the way. Whee!
Does the blue one count?
Trisha sending fireworks.
Oh my gosh, I want to know if the money gun works for maybe it's done. Thank you for the community fest. ×2, 5 more seconds, y'all. Let's use it. We're together team, everyone. Thank you for my match points. I appreciate all of you. FFA with the boopity boop boop boops.
So we should thank you guys so much for teaching me more about battling. Margaret, bonjour. Thanks for the rose, dear. Thank you, everybody, for contributing more knowledge about battling as we learn about this.
Oh my gosh, I love teaching you how to battle.
Jersey Mike sends the power. The power.
The power be with you.
Like,
right, Brian? Yeah, Razzle. Razzle helping. Both sides up.
Jersey Mike, Trisha too, and Meredith, and Margaret too, and Rick and you all are amazing here. Diggy. No roses during a glove, says Meredith.
Yeah.
What happens if you do that?
So if you think about it, so the glove is ×5, but it's by chance.
Okay.
So if someone drops it and they hit the ×5, with the galaxy. So if they hit it with the times 5, then do you want it to be 1 times 5 is 5, or do you want it to be like 1,000 times 5 from a galaxy?
Got it.
Yeah.
Let's do this, guys.
Kindred
Thank you so much.
paranormal. I'm so glad I caught you live.
Trisha.
I totally fell asleep. I had that nap.
Oh, good. I'm glad you got to nap.
Deadpool dead. Welcome on in. Alpha with the boobity boop boop boobs.
Jersey Mike.
Oh gosh. Do we have a
Jersey
snipe?
Mike, thank
Snipe
you
a
for the
sniper.
Galaxy Bright. Thank you, Trisha, for the flower crown too. You're all so sweet. Thanks to you.
Oh my gosh, Katie, I feel like we could totally do a really. Thank you, everyone in the chat.
Well
Yes,
done,
thank you,
everybody.
everyone with the boop booty boop boop boops and the roses. You are all MVPs in the chat, and I'm sorry I did not do that earlier. My brain was fogged.
I want to thank everybody, right? We've got, let's see. So we've got Jersey Mike, who got a boosting glove, and Trisha, who got a magic mist, and Jeff Hickman, and Wandali, and Sharon, and Margaret, and Meredith. Our top 10. Want to definitely shout out Rick. I want to shout out everybody I saw. Mike is the MVP.
You know that you have 5 days to use the glove, right?
I did not know that.
Okay, so any glove, anything that you get, so like the misting and the glove, you have 5 days to use, and like the hammer just adds like kind of like animation on the other person. It doesn't really do anything. So like yeah. So if you ever like battle and you're strategizing, hi Charles, welcome in. Definitely strategize on when you want to use like gloves and stuff, especially if you have like 5 or more.
Okay, so Davey's saying do a random battle on Sunday. Unless Andy would help you to battle on Sunday, you'd be welcome back on Sunday morning. For me, Sunday morning. Although that'd be early for you. But I don't know.
It depends on my sleep. It's been weird. It's been wacky. My sleep, I've been getting like 2 hours of sleep at night. It's been weird. And that's not me. So like.
Mm-hmm. Got it. We have to solve the mystery of your sleeplessness.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So Andy, so maybe now we could sing. Do you guys want to hear a duet in gratitude? Davey thinks we can win a random battle easy. Maybe.
Easily.
What do we think?
Thank you for being here, my friend.
Thank you for being our friends. Travel down the road and back again. Take it, Andy.
I'm so bad at on the spot. I'm so
Her
bad
heart
on the
is true. I'll support Andy on the spot. Andy threw a party, just like this battle on here tonight. We would see the biggest gift would be from us, with a card attached that said, "Thank you for being a friend." Andy and everybody here tonight. Thank you, everybody. Ding, ding, ding.
Yes, Daddy. Welcome in.
Welcome,
Katie.
everybody.
I wish y'all knew exactly how Katie Katie is just
You are just, girl. We're fans.
we're fans.
We're fans.
I'm a fan.
If I'll hold up one half of the heart, can you hold up the other? This is for all you guys. This is a mutual. Look at that. I wonder if we touch, if we're gonna like blow, like maybe like we'll blow up TikTok. Something's
Hang on. We're gonna fan it.
for everybody.
We're gonna blow air into the FYP.
We're fans of you. We're fanning you. This is love and thank you.
Sophia, welcome on in, everyone.
This is it. This is our thank you to all of, and seriously, guys, thank you all very much. Everything you just threw is powering our gas tank for the week with those travels.
Antonio, welcome on in.
Thank you especially again.
Have you ever done a travel battle?
A travel battle?
Yeah.
Is that different?
Hey, Max. No, just like when you're traveling, like battling and then like quizzing the person to see if they know anything about where you're at.
We could do more of that, like the trivia.
Yeah. But I don't know how you would do it. Like the other person, like you would definitely have to like plan it. Hi,
Because that's a
Matt.
fun idea. We kind of do that with our trivia for charity. Did you ever do that with us, Andy?
No.
That's okay. It would like, we do it, we just do it sometimes on here. We do a thing, like holidays, special occasions, where we put a little pot of money that we're going to donate to charity, and then we unlock it by like you got to answer like 5 trivia questions. So
That's so cute.
that's a thing that we do sometimes. So it's trivia for, and it's something we all do as a community. Like I start a pot, and then like we all, so like we could do that. That's so when you said like traveling, a battle for travel, maybe we could do like a battle trivia for charity thing one day, guys, to build the pot that way, and then whatever we do from the battle, I don't know if that would be fun.
That could be fun.
Picture it, TikTok live, exactly. Thank you for being a friend. Picture it. TikTok.
This just in, Katie coming up with new ideas for her travel channel.
Sure.
Thank you for tuning in to my TED Talk.
This just in, continuing to be a fan of Andy. So it's 10 o'clock. I definitely need to think about winding down for the night. I think the battle for travel, exactly one. We called it like the battle to travel when we did Tea Leaf Reader, our first ever battle. And you guys were amazing that night. Would you guys, as this goes out, especially like Mike, Trisha, any of our VIPs, what do you guys think? And I'll like everybody gets a vote too, but would you guys like to wind down with a bedtime story? Question. Some people were asking for it earlier. Thank you everybody again for sticking around for this battle.
Yeah, thank you, everyone for helping me out.
Trisha says, yes, please. Juan Dolly, you are lovely for having come. Thank you so much. Sharon says yes to a bedtime story. Andy, you guys are welcome. We can stick around if you want to do bedtime story. Like,
Okay, y'all. If you've never heard Katie do a bedtime story, it's beautiful. Like I might just mute myself.
that is very sweet of you to say. But you guys are like, everybody is invited for a bedtime story. So we can pick tonight. Let's see. I'll just grab what's at hand here. I have at hands immediately. We could either read a Grimm's fairy tale. And this is, Mike, you were asking about Happy. This is one of the books that Happy, my bunny, had chewed. I will.
Wait.
She left a mark.
I think this is in line, Katie.
Yeah. Like, yes. So our bedtime story is tonight. So I don't know what everybody thinks. We could do bedtime story, either Grimm's fairy tales, or I also have at hand my book of real love letters. You guys, I haven't done one of my love letter videos in a while. I'm so behind. Life is so upside down. But this is a book of real love letters written by real famous people. So would you guys like a love letter or a fairy tale? Maybe throw me, if you're so inclined, throw me a rose, an enchanted rose for a fairy tale, or some lightning for a love letter. Trisha's down for a fairy tale. Thank you so much, Trisha.
Ooh, Brian says love letter.
I mean, if we have time, we could do maybe a little of each. Maybe I could find Jamie's throwing some love around. Okay, let's do this right. Let's get some music
This
down.
is so cute. It has ears on it. I didn't even notice.
That's adorable. That's absolutely adorable.
I'm becoming more obsessed with this. It's a little bear. Wait, the lighting is like so weird.
Well, let's read. Okay, this popped in my brain, so clearly it's the one that wants to be read. Let's read The Queen Bee. Do you know The Queen Bee? It's a more obscure Grimm fairy tale. We read it for the first time on here not too long ago. Bees for the Summertime. So while I am preparing this story, My returning friends know at my channel, for anybody who's listening who wants to stick around for this story, your job is to let yourself get cozy. I'll get cozy, and you guys get cozy. Let's see here. Good. There we go. Andy's getting cozy. Feel free to let me know in the comments if you so choose what you're doing to get cozy. I wonder if Miss
Do you
Margaret...
want to just do like a friendly tap little battle while we're doing this?
Sure.
Like, no pressure. Just because that would be 3 for me.
Sure. Absolutely. So guys, no pressure to do anything. We're going to do that. This is for Andy to help with her stats. Blanket fort time. Exactly, Paul Lewis. And I'm going to look up... There it is. The Queen Bee. Page 252. I hope you are getting settled in nice and cozy. And let's see here. There we go. There's my favorite one. From the Brothers Grimm, tale number 62, The Queen Bee. Once, 2 princes went forth in search of adventure, and after they fell into a wild, decadent way of life, they never returned home again. Their youngest brother, who was called Simpleton, went out to look for them. But when he finally found them, they ridiculed him for thinking that he, as naive as he was, could make his way in the world, when they, who were much more clever, had not been able to succeed. At length, the 3 of them traveled together, and they came to an anthill. The 2 oldest wanted to smash it and watch the small ants crawl around in fright and carry away their eggs. But Simpleton said, "Hey, leave the little creatures in peace. I won't let you disturb them." Next they came to a beehive, and there was so much honey in the hive that it dripped down the tree trunk. The 2 older brothers wanted to build a fire underneath it and suffocate the bees to get at the honey. However, Simpleton prevented them again. He said, "Leave the creatures in peace. I won't let you disturb them." Finally, the 3 brothers came to a castle, and they saw nothing but stone horses standing in the stables. Not a living soul could be seen. They went through all the halls until they reached the end, where there was a door with 3 locks hanging on it. In the middle of the door, there was a peephole, and they could see one look into a small room. In there, they saw a gray dwarf sitting at a table. They called to him once, and then twice, but he didn't hear them. Finally, they called out a 3rd time, and he got up, opened the locks, and came out. However, this dwarf didn't say one word to them. Instead, he just led them to a richly spread table, and after they had something to eat and drink, he brought each one to his own bedroom. The next morning, the gray dwarf went to the oldest brother, beckoned to him, and he conducted him to a stone tablet on which were inscribed 3 tasks that had to be performed if the castle was to be disenchanted. The first task involved gathering 1,000 pearls that were lying in the moss of the forest. They belonged to the king's daughter, you see, and they had to be collected from the moss before sundown. If a single pearl was missing, the seeker of the pearls would be turned to stone. The oldest brother went to the moss and searched the entire day, but when the day drew to a close, he had only found 100. Consequently, he was turned into stone, as was ordained by the tablet. The next day, the 2nd brother undertook the adventure, but he didn't fare much better than the oldest. He found only 200 pearls, and was also turned to stone. Finally, it was Simpleton's turn to search for the pearls in the moss. However, because it was so difficult to find them, and everything went so slowly, he sat down on a stone, and he began to weep. While he was sitting on the stone and weeping, the king of the ants whose life he had once saved came along with 5,000 ants, and it didn't take long before the little creatures had gathered the pearls together and stacked them in a pile. Now the second task was to fetch the key to the bedroom of the king's daughter from the lake. When Simpleton came to the lake, the ducks whose lives he had once saved came swimming towards him and then dived down to fetch the key from the depths. Next came the third task, which was the hardest. The king had 3 daughters who lay asleep. Simpleton had to pick out the youngest and loveliest. However, they all looked exactly alike. The only difference between them was that they had each eaten a different kind of sweet before falling asleep. The oldest had eaten a piece of sugar, the second a little syrup, and the youngest a spoonful of honey. Just then, the queen bee whom Simpleton had protected from fire came along. She tested the lips of all 3 princesses. At last, she settled on the mouth of the princess who had eaten the honey, and thus the prince was able to recognize the right daughter. Now the magic spell was broken, and everyone was set free from the deep sleep. All those who had been turned to stone regained their human form. Simpleton married the youngest and loveliest daughter, and he became king after her father's death. His 2 brothers, well, they were married to the other 2 sisters, and all lived happily ever after. The end. I love this story. I didn't know it until more recently myself, but it's so sweet, simple, and charming, and I feel like follows so many common fairy tale tropes. And I don't know about you guys, but I just adore the idea of, like, when we're good to each other, we may have friends in return. And not just to do it for the friendship, but I love the idea of showing up for each other. When we show up for each other, things can turn out better. I think. I don't know.
Nice.
But that's our story there. And I'll pick a short love letter.
Really, really knows how to break my face.
No!
Good way.
You guys know how to break my face. In all the good ways. The ways that you guys have been here tonight. Like everybody, I want to thank everybody once again. Thank you for this battle tonight. Thank you for your company. And Andy, thank you so much too for your company the last 24 hours. It has meant so much.
I'm so glad that.
Thank you. So Trisha's our MVP. Thank you, Trisha, Jeff Hickman, Juan Dolly, Mike, everybody. Oh my goodness.
I want to thank you for the opportunity that you presented to me. So
you are most welcome. Thank you to Kat. Thank you to Sharon. Thank you everybody for contributing tonight. Let me pick a sweet, easy love letter. So this is called Letters of Note, Love. Happy got to this one too. You can always tell I look funny.
wait, was your bunny like gray, like a darker color, or was it white?
She was a white rabbit. She was like straight out of Alice in Wonderland. She had her blue eyes, her little, I call them her blueberry eyes. Let's see here. We'll have a funny one. I always go the Simon Fallowfield letter. Oh no, we read that recently. I just love that one. We did read that recently. How about, shall we go touching? Let's go touching. Do you guys know the letter from Sullivan Ballou to Sarah Ballou? Have you ever heard of this?
You guys can answer on my side too, and I can let her know.
I did a video of this one not too, like maybe a year ago, something like that. This is, somebody else mentioned it to me. They were like, Katie, you should look at the Sullivan Ballou letter. I had never heard of this. If you want, talk about break your face.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I'm all about breaking the face. Brian says no.
So, okay. So again, these are very real. This is not fiction. These are real love letters historically that have been collected. From Sullivan Ballou to his wife Sarah Ballou. July 14th, oh look at that. July 14th, 1861. And here's the description to give context. This is the description and then we'll read the letter. In 1861, as the American Civil War approached, a 32-year-old lawyer named Sullivan Ballou left his wife of 5 years and 2 sons at home, and he joined the war effort as a major in the Union Army. On July 14th that year, acutely aware that particularly perilous times were ahead, he wrote, but he didn't send, the following beautiful letter to his wife, in which he eloquently warned her of the dangers he faced and spoke of his love for both his family and his country. Let's see here. And the short form ultimately is that, if you want to know what happened, Sullivan did not make it home, but his family got the letter. And Sarah, his wife, never remarried. So this is the letter from Sullivan to his dear wife. It begins, "My very dear wife, the indications are very strong that we shall move in a few days, perhaps tomorrow, and lest I should not be able to write you again, I feel impelled to write a few lines that may fall under your eye when I am no more. Our movement may be one of a few days' duration and be full of pleasure, and it may be one of severe conflict and death to me. Not my will, but thine, O God, be done. If it is necessary that I should fall on the battlefield for my country, I am ready. I have no misgivings about or lack of confidence in the cause in which I am engaged, and my courage does not halt or falter. I know how American civilization now leans upon the triumph of the government and how great a debt we owe to those who went before us through the blood and suffering of the Revolutionary War. And I'm willing, perfectly willing, to lay down all my joys in this life to help maintain the government and to pay that debt. But my dear wife, when I know that with my own joys I lay down nearly all of yours, and replace them in this life with care and sorrow, when after having eaten for long years the bitter fruit of orphanage myself, I must offer it as their only sustenance to my dear little children, is it weak or dishonorable that while the banner of purpose floats calmly and proudly in the breeze, underneath my unbounded love for you, my dear wife and children, should struggle in fierce, though useless contest, with my love of country. I cannot describe to you my feelings on this calm summer night when 2,000 men are sleeping around me, many of them enjoying the last, perhaps, before that of death. And I suspicious that death is creeping behind me with this fatal dart and commuting with God, my country, and thee. I've sought most closely and diligently, and often in my chest for a wrong motive in thus hazarding the happiness of all that I love, and I could not find one. A pure love of my country, and of the principles I have advocated before the people, and the name of honor that I love more than I fear death. I have called upon these, and I have obeyed. Sarah, my love for you is deathless. It seems to bind me with mighty cables that nothing but omnipotence can break. And yet my love of country comes over me like a strong wind and bears me irresistibly with all those chains to the battlefield. The memories of all the blissful moments I have enjoyed with you come crowding over me. And I feel most deeply grateful to God and you that I have enjoyed them so long. And how hard it is for me to give them up, and burn to ashes the hopes of future years when, God willing, we might still have loved and loved together, and see our boys grow up to honorable manhood around us. I know I have but few claims upon divine providence, but something whispers to me, perhaps it is the wafted prayer of my little Edgar, that I shall return to my loved ones unharmed. If I do not, my dear Sarah, never forget how much I loved you, nor that when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, it will whisper your name. Forgive my many faults, and the many pains I have caused you. How thoughtless, how foolish I have sometimes been. How gladly would I wash out with my tears every little spot upon your happiness, and struggle with all the misfortunes of this world to shield you and my children from harm. But I cannot, I must watch you from the spirit world and hover near you while you buffet the storms with your precious little freight, and wait with sad patience till we meet to part no more. But oh, Sarah, if the dead can come back to this earth and flit unseen around those they love, I shall be always with you in the brightest day and the darkest night, amidst your happiest scenes and gloomiest hours. Always, always. And when the soft breeze fans your cheek, it shall be my breath, or the cool air your throbbing temple, it shall be my spirit passing by. Sarah, do not mourn me. Wait for me, for we shall meet again. As for my little boys, they will grow up as I have done. Little Willie is too young to remember me long, but my blue-eyed Edgar will keep my frolics with him among the dimmest memories of his childhood. Sarah, I have unlimited confidence in your maternal care and your development of their characters. Please tell my two mothers I call God's blessings upon them. Sarah, I wait for you, and then come to me, and lead thither my children. Sullivan.
I love that, Katie.
Wasn't he a writer? I mean, my word. And then there's like a little pull-out. My love for you is deathless. It seems to bind me with mighty cables. Nothing but omnipotence can break.
Wow.
Wasn't he a writer?
Thank you, right, Ryan? Like, thank you for like inviting us in my community to like sit and listen to you, like with the bedtime.
I can't see the comments, but hello to everybody in Andy's comments, and I appreciate if you guys had a nice time with us.
If you haven't followed Katie and you enjoyed what you saw tonight, she does take little trips over the weekend. She does tours, and she definitely educates you. It's really, really cool. I can't even explain. Hey, Trisha, how are you? Please give her a follow if you enjoyed what you saw, what you heard, and what you experienced tonight.
And vice versa, of course. Yeah, I think at this point everybody knows you here, Andy. We appreciate Andy's company so much, but it's a pleasure to meet. And for anybody who doesn't know me, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And vice versa. If anybody is in my side and doesn't know Andy, please, consider giving Andy a follow. She is, as you can tell, she is lovely and inclusive and just bright-spirited and sweet and full of love, and like just I appreciate her teaching us about battling and everything. So thank you, everybody. It's getting late for me, so I think at this time I'm gonna sign off.
All right, go hang out, go talk to your community. I will talk to you soon.
Thank you so much, Andy. Thank you. Bye, everybody.
Bye. Wait, what do you call? Do you have a name for your people?
We've sort of morphed into the Dids because we're the Curious Katie Did, the Dids, because we did it.
We did it. All right, Dids, have a good one. Thank you for letting me get some battles, and I appreciate you all.
Bye, Andy. Hi, Kristen's kids. Alrighty, guys. Thank you so much for your company tonight. I'm gonna indeed sign off. But I'll be on tomorrow morning for morning mini walk. So if you guys are around, let's do it. I'll definitely be on earlier the better in this heat. But Wandali, lovely to see you. Kristen, lovely to see you. Thank you again to Trisha, to Mike, Sharon, Kat, all the battle MVPs. Jeff Hickman, you're amazing. Thank you everybody so much. Jamie, I saw you with all those sneaky gnomes. Thank you everybody for contributing tonight. Good night, Paul Lewis. It was so good to see you tonight. Andrew, oh my goodness, Stone Sand, thank you guys so much. I'm gonna take those I'm taking those likes, and if you need a little schmear of love, take a little schmear of love. Take some love with you into the night. May it protect you and keep you. And know that I am grateful for all of you. Have a wonderful night, everybody. See you tomorrow, maybe.